Greetings and welcome. It's that time of the year where people look back at the previous 12 months and make silly lists. So I thought I'd make one too. So here we have a list of the top 5 most memorable XCOM moments of 2016 from my own campaigns that I actually recorded. So while this Exalt mission in my Long War campaign or my very first XCOM 2 campaign ending were great moments, they don't qualify for this list. With that disclaimer out of the way, let's start with number 5, Riots and Sentinels. Mods are a great thing in XCOM 2, and sometimes they work together in wonderful ways. I was playing a campaign with the Spectrum Yellow mod, and one premise in this mod is that city missions are supposed to be played stealthily. If a firefight starts, Advent will call in his Sentinel mech, a huge robot with enough armor and HP to make a sectopod cry. That Sentinel doesn't attack though, it just sits there and calls in reinforcements. Every single turn. That in itself wouldn't be a problem if the mission in question wouldn't have been a Rescue VIP from a Rioting City mission from the Additional Mission Types mod. On this kind of mission you really can't avoid firefights, since you have to rescue a VIP and then hold out for 8 turns while the Sky Ranger is unavailable. This led to a very hectic mission, in which I was trying to cover all the new reinforcements while trying to slowly wither down the Sentinel and at the same time not triggering the NPC, as that would have activated even more reinforcements. Oh, and also trying to avoid the remaining enemy pods that were on the map, as I already had enough problems on my plate. At least the mission didn't have a timer, right? Number 4. Death from Above. In a normal campaign, Death from Above is an ability that will allow your sharpshooter to occasionally take an extra pistol shot or simply take an extra move to keep up with the squad. When you get it on a different class, it quickly shows its true potential and closes in on being a completely broken skill. In my first Army of 2 campaign, my Grenadier received this ability, and the thing I was able to do with it were completely overpowered. In this short clip, she was spotted on the alien turn and badly hurt, but nothing a grenade and a good old Death from Above chain can't fix. Honorable mention in this regard goes to the Long War perk pack. While the previous Death from Above craziness was only available if you lucked into the skill from the AWC, the perk pack gave their snipers Snapshot and Death from Above. Death from Above chaining became my go-to tactic in the A Better Long War campaign, and my snipers were raking in twice as many kills as everyone else. I always shake my head when I see a Let's Player using the Long War perk pack, and they completely ignore this combination. Number 3. Sustain. It's rare that a mod completely throws a wrench into my gears and leaves me speechless, but Spectrum had more surprises ready than I expected. In this mid-game mission, I had my eyes on the loot that had just dropped, but in order to get it safely, I had to take out the remaining enemies. One of them had such a good position that getting to him proved to be incredibly difficult, but suddenly I saw an opportunity. I moved my sniper forward, grappled up to the overpass, activated run and gun, dropped down behind the enemy who was suddenly flanked. With a high damage and high armor piercing weapon, there's no way this enemy could possibly survive my genius move. Except for the fact that I have never seen this enemy before, and they had the sustain ability, making it impossible to kill them in a single turn. No loot for me. Number 2. The Sectopod Prime. When we are talking about mods that throw you a curveball or two, then a better advent certainly earned its spot on this list. In a late game mission I came across a Sectopod Prime. Unaware of what the unit could do, I started to hit it, only to see a little pop-up saying Annihilation Protocol. Well, as you'd guess by the name, that doesn't mean that the Sectopod starts planting flowers. No, it comes over and wrecks your shit. The Sectopod gets one free action for each attack that hits him. And yes, getting close combat specialist shots from your assaults against it trigger another free action. As I found out later, this can be negated completely with a Frost Bomb, but this knowledge was gained at a hefty cost. Honorable mention. Before we move to the number one, I'll have to give a quick honorable mention. At the start of an Army of Two campaigns, I usually send the two soldiers that I won't be using to the far side of the Gatecrasher map, because I just don't want them to get involved in the combat. It turns out that Mr. Garth DeAngelis wasn't happy about being singled out, running right into a civilian and breaking squad concealment on turn 1. The shortest campaign I ever had. Thank you, Garth. Number 1. Fix your game, Jake. So we are on Operation Leviathan, the final mission of my first Army of Two campaign. 2 lonely soldiers made it all the way to the final room, held their ground against increasing numbers of enemies. And then there he is, the final enemy avatar. The one unit you have to kill to finish the campaign. And what a fitting end it would be. The character pool gave me none other than Jake Solomon himself as a soldier, and he was in range of the avatar. Simple move, activate rapid fire, 100% chance to hit, let's finish this right here. First shot lands, crit for 17, only 8 HP remaining, that's minimum damage for a shotgun and nothing could possibly go wrong. So, victory! Dodge? Fix your game, Jake. Well, a few weeks later XCOM 2 was patched so that 100% shots could no longer be dodged. Obviously, just a coincidence. And that brings us to the end of our list. What were your great XCOM 2 moments in 2016? Let me know in the comments, and as always, thanks for watching and stay tuned for even more XCOM 2 in 2017. See you then, Commanders.